Today's conversation is on the topic of business, and we're specifically going to focus on stock and AI. Not necessarily how one uses AI to trade stock or select stock or set limit orders and things like that, but rather how AI is affecting business and how you can figure out if these are businesses to invest in for the future or if these are businesses that you might want to take a short position against. In my portfolio, I have a number of different securities, many of which you're aware of because I used to trade real time for my members. If you're not a member at thesassin.com, THESASN.com, we highly recommend that you join the community, especially at a time like this. We've been banned from YouTube due to censorship over my speaking up against what's happening in Gaza. But anyways, and click join when you get there. But one of the securities I bought some time ago is a company called Fiverr. And the reason that I bought it is because it really is in line with one of my chief philosophies around buying stock, which is that the business should have good leadership, be well run. It should have high profit margins. So of course we like software businesses. We like those businesses that are not heavy. They don't have a lot of equipment and all this stuff, things like Airbnb. So there's that piece, so decent leadership, high profit margin business. But the other piece that we really liked about Fiverr is that it's easy for Fiverr to connect markets around the world, connect labor markets, connect businesses that need labor. It just really was a globally relevant company. And I use it, and the product is good, and the customer service is all right. So I was like, okay, I'll buy some stock because the price tanked. And it's the basic: buy low, sell high. These things, if you can stick to them, you'll do all right. But here's what changed in 2025: the world changed in a way that it'll never revert back to. When AI became commonplace, we got into a situation whereby a lot of people were rendered useless, particularly everyday people, average people, lay people, people who are not high skill, people who are mid skill, people who are not creative, people who are not doing a lot of thinking, people who are doing repetitive tasks, people who rely on data sets. People who do something that other people can do. So that being the case, Fiverr, they're going to take some L's. Well, who's on Fiverr? Copywriters, script writers, logo creators, user interface, user experience engineers, artists. They're all done. They're all done. What AI can do in the software business from a user interface, user experience perspective is not only superior to what the average person does, it's much faster. So even if it wasn't superior, just the fact that it's so much faster and so much lower cost, those people are all done. They're fired. Copywriters fired because less likely that AI is going to make grammatical syntax errors, whereas you probably are. You're done. You're fired. And AI can pump that paper out really quickly. They can do scientific writing. They can do trade-related writing. You guys are all done. And so as a result, the workers on Fiverr, the contractors, they're not going to be there in as high numbers. And the business guys like me who need these services from independent contractors, we're just going to use the AI directly and more efficiently. And so invariably, we're going to see Fiverr start to tank unless they have a new business model. Now, have I heard of them creating a new business model straight away, which would certainly have to be AI infused? No, I've not heard of that because Fiverr was a thin layer of technology that basically connects the business guy, the person with the need, and then the service provider or the independent contractor or the artist. And so they're a thin layer of technology. And as much as that's the case, they're gone. Oh, give me a second. I did want to put my banner up. And thank you for those supporting the work. If you're watching this on a replay, definitely make sure that you subscribe on Kick. This is where I'm going to do all of my live streams. Kick for now is not a home, it's a hotel, because we see that A, as I've always told you, we must be in person, and B, we have to build out our own technology infrastructure because Kick will probably do the same thing that YouTube did and kick us off. But anyways, let me acknowledge some of the folks supporting the work. If you guys have been enjoying this, share your comments, thoughts, questions below on entrepreneurship, money, wealth accumulation, motivation, and all the rest of it. And I'd be more than happy to answer it. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure that you subscribe. That this is our new hotel. May I acknowledge Constantine supporting the work via Venmo, and I appreciate you doing so, because within this thing of ours, we say show love to those who show love to you. I didn't even put up the banner, you still support it. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it. So anyways, I want to share with you guys that I sold all of my Fiverr, and I would never buy it again because I don't see any natural pivot point with their current business to the next business that will be profitable. They don't have enough technical sophistication to jump in the AI game in a competitive way. What they would have been smart to have done, and they should have already done it, is they should have already been providing AI-enabled services. So Fiverr should have went from saying, hey, if you need a UI, UX guy, if you need a copywriter, if you need this, we'll connect you. It really should have been, hey, use Fiverr, we provide AI, copywriting, UI, UX for this amount of money per month. And if you need someone more sophisticated to put the finishing touches, we can put you in contact with a professional. We have millions of them. But they've been a bit slow on that. And I know that to be to their detriment. So if you're a person who takes short positions, I wouldn't be surprised if right before one of their annual reports, if you find out when they're going to give their annual report, when they're going to share information on earnings and projections, I would take a short position against Fiverr. And I almost never take short positions because they can be very dangerous. I advise you guys to stay away from leverage in the paper asset game. But in this case, for sure, it would be, I think it's an easy win. And there's probably a couple companies that are going to be going out of business. And I was just reflecting yesterday, saying to myself, wow, the world is always changing. It's not a bad thing. It's just life. We don't have newspapers. We don't have Blockbuster. And I'm telling you, young boys, Blockbuster was a great thing because with Blockbuster, you get to walk around in a place where there's all these movie titles and these beautiful covers and there's women there. And it was a great place to meet women and to engage conversation and the tactile experience of picking up the film. And I believe back then, studios used to invest more in the films because, going to the movies was a thing. They didn't just pump them out so quickly. Now the movies are brainless. People binge watch things, so the content has to be created very quickly. Anyways, I said that to say Blockbuster gone, newspapers gone, so many businesses, pagers gone, two-ways gone, chirps gone, gigapets gone, all of these different trinkets, technologies, companies gone, and they mostly never return. So you have to be able to look and see what is next, what is in the future. And this is going to help you if you're an entrepreneur creating a business, a product or service. It is as well going to help you play the stock market more effectively. And when I'm playing the stock market, I'm looking at companies that have great product today and tomorrow. Today and tomorrow. Like, for example, Apple has good product today. It used to be great. Now it's good. They have good hardware. It's durable, but they're not innovating very much. So tomorrow, do they have great product? I don't know. Would I take a short position? Absolutely not. Their company has a lot of cash. So they'll be able to fight it out for quite some time. They have a product that you put around your face. I forget what it's called, but frankly, it's going to be a niche product for some time. It's not going to be competitive with similar products that are ancillary to it, like the Ray-Ban Meta, which they're coming out with the second one, which looks far more tech infused. I think it'll be interesting and it's reasonably stylish. That's a good product. That company I'm very long on. It's actually, I think it's on the French exchange. It's not on American New York Stock Exchange. Meta is, but not Ray-Ban. So I'm very long on Meta because they're using their money and they're keeping R&D fresh and they're pushing out new product and they're being first to market. I'm long on Meta, even though I don't like their leadership, meaning on a personal level. But that's how you need to think about stock, because stock, you're taking stock in a company. You should think of it as yourself joining the company. And some companies are good for different things. Some things will never go away. I recently purchased company. I think it's Kelly Clarkson. Let me see. Let me pull up my trade receipts and tell you about some of my recent trades. So I recently sold thousands of dollars of Fiverr. That sale was executed on 9/26. Today that was settled. And then Kimberly Clark Corp. There we go. So Kimberly Clark Corp, I purchased quite a bit. And in fact, I would have purchased more. I have another buy order in at a lower price. And let me just take a look at my portfolio, if you will, just to see how it's performed since I bought it, to see if I bought it at the right price. And I really do pride myself on having excellent stock picks, picking only winners, and also buying them at the right price. So like shortly after I buy it, you can see that it's already gone up in value. By the way, shout out to Joseph. I appreciate you. Joseph came in supporting the work. He's very consistent. And these are the men that I trust, respect, and rely on. I also acknowledge McKinsey, who came in offline. He writes, tuition, appreciate you, quite peace of the saints. And Joseph and McKinsey, I know both of their faces. That's the beauty of this thing of ours, is that, you know, it's a real life community. We meet up in real life. We know each other's families. We know each other's kids and women and parents. And that's how it's supposed to be. You should want to be around people that you're familiar with, you trust and respect. Anyways, so I got some, I'm just going to talk a little general if you don't mind. So I have some Lockheed Martin, which I bought some time ago. That's up right now. And of course, with a war hawk president like Donald Trump, is going to continue to be up. Donald Trump made a major lie when he said that he was going to stop the wars. Bro has only been following Israel's orders, which means increasing the wars. And Lockheed Martin is a weapons company, so of course that's going to benefit them and me as a stockholder. You know, it's really a sad, sick, evil thing. But you know, if the evil must occur, let it not be in vain. Let it not be in vain. But anyways, so I got some Lockheed. That's doing well. I'm also invested in a number of companies that are in the real estate industry. Real estate is in the toilet right now. However, we know that real estate, like the capitalist economy, is cyclical, and undoubtedly it'll have to rebound. And it's been quite low. And in some measures, it's been remarkably low, which is good. Low is good because all of the things related to the real estate game are going to be low, whether it's the Home Depot or Lowe's or mortgage companies or banks, or, you know, all of the different parts, you know, cement, steel, timber, things that are related to construction are going to be low. And when they move up, they're going to roar forward coming out of a slump like this. And I'm well positioned for that. I've bought into a number of these companies, and we know that housing has to recover. If housing doesn't recover, the economy doesn't recover. So it's a fairly safe bet that I'm willing to make. Anyways, as I said, I got Kimberly Clark Corp, and they make Kleenex, paper towels, you know, literally like paper towels. And the thing about stuff like this is not going anywhere. You're always going to need that. And AI is not going to displace them. It's not going to dislodge them. They will be dominant today and 20 years from now. And for that reason, I bought a good amount, and I plan to buy more. I have a buy order open currently. But anyways, my Kimberly Clark, I purchased that. Let me see when it was settled. That trade was settled on the 25th, which is yesterday. And I purchased it precisely at the limit price of $121.74 per share. And it is now sitting at $121.69. So it's just a matter of cents. It's gone down. And I wouldn't mind it going down even more. I'd buy more, because I know it's going to rise up. I'm very confident in it. And for those of you who are here, I'm gonna give you guys a special treat. I'm gonna tell you what else I got in my portfolio. Give you guys a special treat. Now remember, I bought these things low, so that I'm not saying go out and get these things, okay? I'm just telling you what I have in my portfolio, just so you have a sense. And shout out to Derek, by the way, who just purchased the black box. He got that at thesassin.com, THESASN.com. Just click products and get the black box on ebook. Shout out to Mr. Gardner, writes, peace of the saints, tuition. I appreciate you. And shout out to all the saints who tune in to the business lives. And if you guys would confirm that I'm coming in clear, reasonably sharp in terms of audio, video, because I'm testing out how the web application does when I'm streaming direct to Kick. I'm aware that I am vertical, but the screen is so small. This is really the best way to May I also, sounds like someone else came in via Venmo. I'll check that out. Shout out to Caleb. He writes, tuition for my favorite segment, Peace of the Saints. Okay, let me tell you guys a little bit about what I got in my portfolio, if you don't mind. I have in my portfolio Lockheed Martin, which is currently up. I have Latin American something or the other. What the heck is this? It sounds like an insurance company. I like insurance because similar to software, it's a high profit margin business. Pharmaceuticals, you may be thinking, is a high profit margin business. It's also a highly regulated business. I try to stay away from those businesses that are highly regulated because I don't trust the government and I don't want the drug, the pharmaceutical to get pulled from the shelves or to get hung up in FDA approvals. And so I always stay away from it. I have an insurance company, and this one is in the positive, not very much. I have Kimberly Clark, which is basically at an even point. I have Procter and Gamble, which is a corporation I know well. I've actually been paid to lecture at their headquarters, so I've lectured at their leadership before. Good company. Again, they sell soap and all these kinds of products, deodorant, shampoo, things that are not going anywhere. They are pretty much at a break even right now. If they drop, I'm buying more. You better believe that. I got Costco. I don't shop at Costco unless I'm having an event, but people love Costco. Costco's not going anywhere. These rascals have had that pizza and hot dogs at the same price for years. I like how they think. They're very clever business people. Costco's not going anywhere at all. Costco is down about 2.69% in my portfolio. And I damn near think I might buy some more right now as we speak because I like Costco. So I'm going to put in a buy order. The current share price is at $918. And it'll probably not drop this low, but if it does, I want it. So I'm going to put in a good till canceled order for a limit price of $888. See if we can get that. So 888 is the magic number. Let me see how many shares. Oh, and by the way, you always want to make sure that you pay attention to your confirmation when you're on a proper trading platform. Once you put in your request, it'll say, hey, confirm. Take out the time to read it and make sure that it's correct, because a slight typo can cost you millions of dollars. If you have millions of dollars, it can cost you millions of dollars. So you do want to be careful. So anyways, I have a buy order. That's why I'm reading out to you guys to confirm my order of Costco stock. I have a buy order at a limit price of $888. That is good till canceled. Okay, I'm clicking to review the order and I'm confirming it. It is charging me no fees. I see the number of shares for buy 8 shares. This is weird. Buy 8 shares at a limit price of $888. Perfect. Placing order. Order is placed. So strange. It says there's a 3 before the word cost. It's kind of weird. I don't know why it's like looking like that, but whatever. Very good. I just got a letter back from my lawyer trying to sue the Google corporation. They said they can't sue them. That's one of the challenges with accessing the legal system is it's actually quite squirrely, unpredictable, and difficult, frankly. Even if you can afford it, it's very difficult. That's why often when I see on YouTube comments, people are like, oh, that's a case, or sue that person, do this or that. It's like, come on. You don't sue people because you think it's easy when really it's not quite that easy. Now I'm looking at my open orders real quick just to see what I have open. So I got that order for Costco that I just placed for $888. It's weird how it's giving me, it says 3 shares. I didn't request 3 shares. I actually requested more than 3 shares. I was wondering why that 3 was there. That was very strange. But anyways, that's fine. So limit price of $888, good till cancel. Cool. I also have some buy orders in for Amazon. That's because Amazon is the most innovative company that maybe you and I have lived through, frankly. What Amazon has done for human life, listen to me, folks. What Amazon has done for human life is extraordinary. For example, I'm here at the plantation and let's see. See if you guys can see out of the window. Can you guys see that? The bales of hay there, and in the other direction you probably can't see. Let me see if I can unplug this real quick. Be neat if I could switch to the rear camera. I don't know how to do that. But all the same, I'm in my office right now. So as you guys can see out there, got the, may or may not be able to see the bells of hay. But either way, I say that to say, I really couldn't live out here with the same level of comfort if Amazon didn't exist. Do you know how nice it is that anything I need, I can order on Amazon, I can stay at my home, and I don't have to go out? Because when you leave out of the Burton plantation, at least me, I want to be out the whole day. You know, I got to go out for the whole entire day. I don't want to just go out for one thing. So if you happen to forget something fairly minor, then Amazon's a great tool for someone like me who lives on a large piece of land that's fairly remote. So Amazon has changed the nature of life. It's allowed everyone to be connected. It's allowed you to get products and goods of any type, anywhere in the world, very quickly. It is an extraordinary business. It has changed human life. And I might sound, you might not understand how serious it is. And I'd say that Amazon is as important as, you know, like next to the internet, it's that important. It's changed the way humans interact with each other. It's changed the number of people you will see in a day. It's really a revolutionary company. I've bought in and out of Amazon many, many times, and I will continue to do so. But anyways, I have an Amazon order up for a limit price of $162. It's currently at $220, which is quite far away. It may not drop. The reason it might drop is because I think they were getting sued recently. When you're in business, you're going to get sued if you're successful. If you're successful, you're going to get sued. But sometimes when you catch a big lawsuit, I think the one that I saw was like billions of dollars that they actually have to pay out. Then your price is it's going to falter a little bit. So hopefully it does, because I want to buy more. Anyways, I got some Amazon on order. I got Starbucks on order, and that's because Starbucks is coffee, which is a drug. That's why I advise all of you guys not to use intoxicants of any kind, because they're addictive and dangerous. And I was just sitting out at a Starbucks yesterday and just watching the number of women, white women, going in and out of that thing like drug addicts. I knew that this business is not going to lose, especially because it has so much infrastructure, has so much real estate, and it is everywhere, and it's conveniently located, and it has reputation, and it has addictive substances. So I like Starbucks for that reason. Right now, Starbucks, I believe, is backing the Zionists, and that's why the share price is tanking, as it should. And I hope that it tanks more. I hope that it tanks all the way down to like 1 cent, and I keep buying it all the way down, and then it rises from the debris like a phoenix. But for the time being, I have a buy order for $64 Starbucks, and the current share price is $83. I also have another buy order, as I said, for Kimberly Clark. I have a buy order for a construction company. I have a buy order for Global Payments. I have a buy order for NVIDIA, which will probably never get filled. I'm actually about to cancel it. It's for $70 per share, and they're currently at 177. Not a chance that's getting filled. I'm about to cancel that right now, free up some liquidity. So let me start from the bottom, if you will. I also have a buy order for Shopify, which, you know, I like Shopify. I use it. It's a solid company. I've never actually needed to use their customer service, which is remarkable. That lets you know how good the product is. And if you got a good product, good dope sells itself. Shout out to Joshua, came in with a bowler alert. He writes, "Peace to the Saints. These are the best lives. Set up my Kick account to continue the movement and the support. My username is Filipino Chico." Oh, I love you guys. I love you guys. Filipino Chico. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that name, my friend. He writes, "Thank you for the business game, sir." Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure. Shout out to the ballers, man. Appreciate you. And actually also as well, shout out to the Saints in the Philippines. So we got a lot of good people in the Philippines who follow this ism, men and women. And, you know, one of the challenging things my lady told me is that the Philippines are having a lot of issues with corruption, aren't we all? And also natural disasters. So our prayers to the Saints over there, hoping that they're alive, well, and thriving in the midst of all of this. And please do know that wherever there is challenge, there's an opportunity to be the hero. There's also an opportunity to make a bag. You did. Carrying on. I also have in my portfolio, and there's a ton of companies that I'm looking at them and I don't instantly know what it's about, so I'm not going to speak on it. But I have some Moderna. As you guys know, these were those rascals who basically were in league with government enforcing vaccines on everyone. Don't mind making some money on it. I ain't take the vaccine, but if y'all gonna take it, let's get this bag. I also have some stock in Ursa in order for Pony AI, as well, one for DHL, the delivery group, which they are a phenomenal company for the most part. But they got a lot of infrastructure. They're really deep in the game. They got government partnerships. They're hard to beat. I have a buy order for Airbus, which looks like it's never going to get filled. So I'm going to cancel that one because it's just too far off of the current share price. Okay, so that one's closed. I also have open orders for Riot Platforms. I forget what that is. Can someone tell me what that is? Also, Better Homes. This is in the real estate market. I have buy orders for a particular bank. I love the banking industry because the United States almost never lets banks fail. So I love the banking industry because basically the American government is guaranteeing your investment using their military and their financial wizardry. So that's always a good look. I also have American Express. And I don't use personal credit. I think it's a terrible idea, generally speaking. I don't even think business credit is a great idea. I do know how to leverage debt, especially in the real estate market. Like that makes a lot more sense, but we're a credit-based society. Unfortunately, all of the West is, and increasingly more of the world will be a credit-based society, which is unfortunate. But as the world burns, I mean, we might as well bring out the s'mores. So I have an open order for American Express, even though I think that their customer service could be better. It looks like this is never going to convert. So I'm going to cancel this one because my ask price, if you will, is so far from the current share price. It's just not going to fill. I also have Cisco Systems, of course, tech giant, Caterpillar. I love these kind of companies, the infrastructure building companies, because when you have the United States government go around the world and destroy other countries, you know, Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Gaza, and the list goes on, Yemen, the list goes on indefinitely. Well, those places have to be rebuilt. And infrastructure companies, whether it's Caterpillar or it's a concrete company or what have you, these are the guys who are going to be used. So it means more money, more money, more money. So I do like to take those picks. We also have Pfizer. Again, I don't like the pharmaceutical industry, especially not new drugs, but these are staples. So you got to roll with them. I have General Mills, and this one is at a buy price of $47. The current price is $49.90. So I think this one is definitely going to fill. And the neat thing about it is General Mills will see a short dip, and I'll probably come from the, I'm JFK, RFK Jr. I hate vaccines. I have one in my throat, and I'm going to fix everything. I'm really not that good at anything, but I'm a Kennedy, and you Americans are dumb enough to believe in dynastic politics. So here I am. I have to give a lot of speeches, even though we all suffer through it. So I think he's going to cause General Mills to take a minor dip due to their sugary cereals and all that good stuff, or bad stuff, if you will. And it'll benefit us who invest in the company, not who eat the cereal. Frosted Flakes, give me a break, right? Anyways, also Morgan Stanley, I got a buy order. That one looks like that'll never fill either. I'm going to cancel that one. Too far off the mark. I also have General Dynamics, which is an advanced tech hardware company, if I recall correctly. And where are we with that one? General Dynamics, quite far off the mark with that one as well. I have some lows on here. And I got a buy order at basically $200, and it's currently at $256. That one might fill. I have some Booz Allen Hamilton on here, and that one's definitely going to fill. It's at $95, the purchase price, and the share price is currently at 98. And I actually already have them in my portfolio. I got some Apple on here at 189. They're currently at 256. That's damn sure not ever going to fill. I'm going to cancel that one right now. And if that terrible iPhone coming out didn't tank the price enough, I mean, we're screwed because that iPhone sucks. Sucks. I have some Clear, which is Clear Secure, the company that lets you get around TSA. that one, and that's like, security is going to be increasingly important in the future as Trump basically exposes the American population to greater risk. Security will be increasingly important, so that's why I'm looking to invest there. I'm at 25 bucks. It's currently at 36. It may fill. I'll leave it there. So let's see. Oh, I got a lot of Lockheed Martin. It's crazy. I already got some, and I have two separate additional orders to buy more. So obviously, I'm long on weapons. I got some Microsoft, which is way off the mark. And the funny thing about trying to boycott Israeli products is it's quite difficult in as much as them boys have their hands everywhere. I have some Cintas Corporation. That one might fill. It's at 180, my buy order, and the share price is at 200. Duke Energy. I like energy companies. I don't like solar, especially not during a Trump administration. So I'm using an iPhone, by the way, for the individual who asked. So solar's not a good look. So if you're selling solar, I know some of you guys might sell solar. This might not be the time to do it. And solar is a tough proposition. It really is. I've been offered solar so many times. And the funny thing is that I'm sorry. Yeah, solar's tough. Solar's tough. Funny thing, I'm looking at the AI mod, and the AI mods are so strong. Someone wrote, majority of Filipinos I knew were good people. And then they flagged that as hate. I kid you not, I'm looking on my computer. That was flagged as hate. That's not hateful at all. So again, this is a hotel for us. This is not a home. Unfortunately, I have to build out my own platform. I really don't want to, because I don't want to be in the tech business. I've been in the tech business. That's not what I want to do. I want to focus my time, energy, capital, emotion on other things. But it appears absolutely necessary because the level of censorship is just extraordinary. And we have a global movement of good people, the good people of the earth, and we must continue on. We absolutely must. But again, shout to my Filipinos. And as I said, my lady told me that the Philippines is suffering a lot of natural disasters, a lot of economic uncertainty due to corruption. And I hope that they're able to take care of that. And those good folks over there are able to thrive, heal, and all the rest of it. May I acknowledge, shout to Constantine, he writes, what are your thoughts on investing in bullion? I have no particular thoughts on that. There's an infinite number of things you could do, you could invest in, you could consider, you could be aware of. And increasingly, I find that we're in the age of the specialist, not the generalist. So go with what you know and don't try to do too much. So for me, that's not a major consideration. I don't have any expertise. I don't have proximity to anyone who has any expertise there. Even people talk a lot about gold, and gold is a solid investment. You don't have to know much to get into it, but I still have never gotten into gold or commodities, really. The only thing close to that I've looked into and made investments in are rare earths, because rare earth mineral are critically important, and it was something that people aren't paying attention to. Gold has been important since ever. However, rare earth is something that people are just now learning about. And so knowing that these are the critical components that fuel economy of the future, I definitely have been very focused on investing into rare earth. So those are the kind of things I'm more interested in, which is the big bag, which is being early, being bleeding edge, being there before everyone else arrives there. So there you go. Shout to Joseph, he writes, what are your thoughts on the practice of tax loss harvesting for stocks? I'm anticipating some good buys coming up November, December due to whales harvesting losses. I'm planning to set more funds aside than usual for those purchases. Hey, hey, it sounds like a brilliant idea. And, the most important thing for me, just to give you a pithy statement to live by, is whatever average people are doing is going to get an average return or an average result or a bad result. It's going to get an average result or a bad result. Never good. It's never going to take you to the top, because remember, everything is based on hierarchy. So everyone can't win. I'm sorry, everyone cannot win. Even if, for example, everyone had a Rolls Royce, then the Rolls Royce motor car would have no value. And then people would want a different kind of car so that they can be above or they can be unique. Everyone can't win. Whatever average people are doing is the wrong thing. If you're monitoring the whales, then you're smart because the whales are doing things that are unique. And if you can emulate them, obviously at your scale, or if you can benefit from the things that they're about to do or the things that other people don't have knowledge on, then you're going to profit by it. And everyone has to stick to their script. The problem is that people don't create a plan in life in general. You create a good plan, stick to the plan, work your plan, and harvest. And I know that you're a very diligent, consistent person by nature, so I trust you'll be successful. People like you, my goal is to just push you forward and encourage you and tell you to move faster and go bigger, because I know you're intelligent, I know you're competent. So you don't need new ideas. You don't need me to tell you what could go wrong or caution. You need to run faster down the path. You need more motivation, more encouragement to do it bigger, do it sooner. Shout out to Ricardo. He writes, I saw your video on your new channel, Marquett on Business. That's actually not my channel. I'm officially not allowed to create a channel. That's a fan channel. I think there's another fan channel as well. So one fan channel is called Marquett on Business, and the other one is called Marquett for Women. And so that's relationship-based content, mostly for women. And as other fan channels pop up, I'll notify you guys of them. He writes, and of course, it was full of learning, wisdom, and game. Hope Kick is sufficient for your goals in the short and long term. Tuition, Texas Assassin in the house. Peace to the Saints. I appreciate you. Shout out to Ricardo. It's good to hear from you again. I also acknowledge Charlie. He writes, I downloaded the Kick app just to follow your content. Wherever you go, I will follow. Marquettism saves lives. Peace to the Saints. I appreciate you. That means everything to me. And is particularly important because we will never see change unless the good peoples of the earth organize and stick together with the same seriousness that the wicked people stick together. For example, as you guys know, Trump did a phenomenal job in his first term, especially in terms of economics, and I voted for him in his first term. I observed during the second term that he has gone astray. He is really has no respect for American Constitution, American, just nothing. The man has no respect for anything. And so as a result, I'm not with that. When you go down the path of evil, I'm not with that. But I tell you what, all of those MAGA Trump supporters, boy, they will not give up. He clearly is hiding something. He's clearly on the Epstein list. He's done some unfortunate things with minors, it appears. And those people are still supporting him. So you have to know the wicked people stick with their guy. So the good peoples, we really got to stick together because we have a heck of a fight on our hands. So I thank you for your support. I really do. I also acknowledge Emmanuel supporting the work. It's actually some support that came in this morning. So I just want to acknowledge him for that because, as I say, show love to those, show love to you. And oh yeah, do feel free to give any comments, questions, and thoughts on this particular platform. You can do so in the chat. The neat thing is that this live chat pretty much stays up and it's just like a constant running live chat. So that's one of the things that's unique about this versus say YouTube. It's kind of cool, honestly. A shout out to the Filipino cheat code, which is funny calling you this because I know your name. But anyways, he writes, I agree, definitely pass on solar. A lot of scam with solar as well. And you really have to take his word for it because he's serious about the real estate game. I might stick a toe in. This man dives in the real estate game and is swimming in that joint in deep waters. So he knows for sure. And I would even take whatever I suspect to be the case. If he told me something different, I'm going with what he says. And that's because, one, I have enough humility to know that I don't know everything. And more importantly, I respect expertise, and you should. You need to know the world is complex enough that no man knows everything. So respect those who are really in the field doing it. So when he says solar is sus, then solar is sus. Believe that. Believe that. Anyways, carrying on. And thank you to all of you who have come with me onto Kick. It is absolutely a pleasure. And we'll, of course, make sure that you as members get your content. And we're going to be pumping out even more content, even more planning. We're going to do new things. We're going to do bigger things. We will not stop. All they do is they make me fight harder. That's all they do. Now, some people when you put the pressure on them, they fold, they run, and then other people fight. I'm me. I'm fighting. So they're only blowing me up more. They might even make me do things I usually wouldn't do. They might make me go join on other podcasts. They might make me go on a Jubilee. They might make me do all these things I wouldn't normally do that are only going to be to the benefit. So, we're going to be outside. Anyways, I got some open orders for Aflac, which I believe is an insurance company. I also have orders for Midland. I think that's a bank, if I recall correctly. I have orders for Kroger. It's a grocery store, and Kroger's never failed me. I may also acknowledge that I have orders for Boeing, of course. I consider that to be the weapons industry, and also the aerospace industry is going to have some huge advancements. I do need to get some money into some drone companies. The best drone company on earth is a Chinese company, and in fact, I should see if I can buy some of that OTC really. So let me actually do a little bit of research real quick, because DJI has been banned from the United States, but they make a fine drone at great cost. It's really one of the few things in this world that I've bought and I'm like, whoa, I got way more value than I could have ever expected. I guess you guys know I've bought multiple my box, but the most recent one, the tech improvements made me feel like, wow, I got more value than I expected. Also, the drone that I recently got, same thing, got more value than I expected. So let me see DJI stock public company. I know it can't be on the United States exchange because they've already banned the product in this market. So let's see. I'm typing what company sells DJI drones. Okay. DJI drones. It's not telling me the company. And this, AI, just side note, is not as good as some people think. Not as good as something. Okay, here it is. DJI drones are made by SZ, DJI Tech Company Ltd, a Chinese tech company headquartered in Shenzhen. Makes sense. Founded in 2006. Okay, now let me see what their stock is. So now I'm going to type in buy, and I'm going to type in the company name, stock. It says you cannot currently buy the stock because it's a private company. Say no more, settled. Now that hurts. Now what I'm going to ask myself, because I know that drones are not going anywhere. In fact, they're either going to be highly regulated, meaning from a consumer perspective, consumers love them. Whether they're the hobbyist or the professional, the layperson, love drones. The government might seriously regulate them because, frankly, they should. But if the government doesn't regulate them, they're going to continue selling like hotcakes. Everyone's going to have them. And in as much as that's the case, we need to know who in the American market is the biggest drone maker. So now I'm going to look that up. Let's see. Biggest drone company in USA. The largest US drone manufacturer is Skydio or Skydio. Terrible name. Now let's see if they're a public company. So buy Skydio stock. Let's see. Appears to be private. You cannot currently buy Skydio stock. It's a private company. There you go. And this lets you know that we're early here. We're early. And when you can't buy the company, sometimes you might be able to buy something that's adjacent or supports that particular company. But there's certain things that, when the IPO comes out, I'm going in. Drones, IPO comes out, I'm going in. Some AI, I'm going in. Obviously you can already buy Google, which has Gemini, and I think that's the best AI. Shout out to Pawan. He writes, peace of saints. Thank you, Mr. Burton. Keep fighting SaaS or nothing in a real way. SaaS or nothing. Yes, sir. Okay, what else do we have? I have API Group. That may be an insurance company, and feel free to correct these in the live chat. Okay, so those are all of my open orders. Not all of them, but that's about 80% of them. Other ones I'm looking at it. I have not the foggiest idea what the company is about. I have one company, which is women's health, which women are always going to the doctor, putting creams and serums on and women's health is going to be an expanding market, no doubt. Now I'm going back to the actual portfolio. I'll tell you guys what I got in the portfolio. So what I have in my stock portfolio is as follows. I have High Roller Technology, which is gambling related tech. And gambling is a good business. Addiction business, gambling business, good money. I have Linkers Industry, I have Nightscope, I have Luminar Technologies, I have Treasure Global, I have iRobot Corp, I have Venture Global, I have High Roller, as I mentioned. I have American Airlines. And that's because I'm long on the aerospace, flight, personal flight, drone, anything in the air, I'm long on that industry. That's next. That's coming up now. Let's see. That is down quite a bit. And am I in there heavy? Let's see what my cost basis was. Cost basis is actually quite low. And American Airlines is doing really bad. I might want to buy some more. I mean, do I use American Airlines? I actually mostly fly Delta. I absolutely hate Southwest and how they do their seating. I think that's really weird and strange. I don't think that model is a good model. I've suffered from it. Let's see why American Airlines is so bad. So I'm doing some research right now. American Airlines. And I'm going to put American Airlines stock. And in fact, let me see if I can sign into StreamYard and see if I can share the screen with you guys. Who knows? Let's see. So just let me know. And, you know, you do need to do research when you, okay, looks like this is going to work. So, American Airlines, booyah, booyaka, booyaka, boo, boo, boo. So I just typed in American Airlines stock. Why American Airlines dipped more than the broader market today? Well, I don't know if that was today that happened. I haven't been keeping an eye on it, but let's see. I absolutely do not like Yahoo in general. It closed at this amount, blah, blah, blah. Heading into today, the shares of the world's largest airline. Whoa, American Airlines is the world's largest airline? That's really interesting. Now, let me tell you guys this. One thing I know for sure is the United States government, they might talk about laissez-faire and like the invisible hand that moves the market and all of this hogwash, all of these Western lies about how they have a free market economy. It's not free market when it comes to weapons, when it comes to banks, and when it comes to advanced industries like aerospace. So the largest American airline, or United States airline, just to make it simpler, would they let that fail? I don't think anyone would want it to fail. Certainly someone as egotistical as a Donald Trump wouldn't want the largest American airline to fail under his watch. So they're going to do what it takes to prop it up. So this is a really interesting buy here. So let's read a little bit more and let's see what we can do. I might be gearing up for a really big buy here. Let's see. American Airlines closed at this price. On the other hand, the Dow registered a loss of 0.19%. Heading into today, the shares of the world's largest airlines, it's like even hard to believe, but I'm going to do a Google search, had lost 5% over the past month, lagging the transportation sector's 2.32% loss. Okay, very good. Investors will be eagerly watching for the performance of American Airlines in its upcoming earnings disclosure. These are important things that'll cause the price to spike or falter immediately. The company's upcoming EPS is projected at this to that, signifying 180% drop compared to the same quarter in the previous year. Not good, but the economy's down. People are not going to fly when the economy's down. So at least not for holiday, for vacation, things like that. Even in fact, Las Vegas is starting to die, which is usually a harbinger of doom for macroeconomics in the United States and of course the world. The latest consensus estimates predicts the revenue to be $13.65 billion, indicating 0.01% decrease compared to the same quarter in the previous year. Okay, that's very good. None of this is like super terrible. The Zacks rank system, which ranges from number 1 to number 5, strong sale, has an impressive outside audited track record of outperformance. Blah, 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 blah. What are they recommending? It says American Airlines is currently sporting a rank of number 4, sell. I don't believe this crap. And that's, yeah, sometimes they're looking at the numbers, and sometimes there are things deeper than the numbers. There's the government regulation, there's the nature and personality of the presidency, there's beyond macroeconomic trends and all the financial measures, there's the politics involved. And we might pretend as though politics does not control economy, but it absolutely does. So I'm going to take a quick look. I'm just curious as to what is largest airline in USA? American Airlines. Okay. American Airlines is the largest airline in the United States when measured by number of passengers carried. That's a fair measure. Daily flights and revenue passenger miles. Okay, fair enough. And that's funny that they're the largest when I fly Delta a lot, but Delta is a hub in Atlanta, which is where my plantation is. So that makes sense. And I fly a lot internationally anyway, so of course I'm going to have a variety of airlines. Anyways, I want to just do take one more look at why American Airlines is down, and then I'm probably about to go buy a ton of it. And I do mean a lot. My last big buy, and I usually don't do big buys, I keep diversified, right? I have a lot of different companies. So I haven't even finished telling you what I have in my portfolio. But the last big buy I did was on United Health. United Health was down significantly, and I bought tens of thousands of it while it was down, and then it recovered. It went up 10%. And 10% is a good hit, especially within a matter of months. It's a great hit, especially when you spend tens of thousands on the stock. So it was beautiful. Mwah! It is one of those times where I'm like, geez, Marquett, are you a genius? Are you a genius? I think you're a genius. So I'm typing in American Airlines. And actually, let's look at news. Let's see what the news is real quick before we look at anything else. Let me enlarge this for you guys so you can see what the headlines are. Get a sense of optimism or lack thereof in the marketplace. So here we are. American Airlines. A passenger can't walk after suffering a stroke on a flight. Sounds like that was their fault. Don't blame American. American Airlines passenger duct taped to seat for attacking flight attendant. That's special. American Airlines renews direct flight from Charlotte to popular European capital. Okay, that's curious. Doesn't sound like a great decision. American Airlines says some flights experience delays due to technical issues. Oh, you know what's funny? Actually, I was recently looking at some real estate in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh to be exact. We just decided not to do the deal, which I don't mind saying the town. And I had a flight that was canceled by American Airlines. And strangely, their customer service was really bad because they canceled my flight, did not tell me they were going to refund me. They said they rebooked me, and like 8 hours later, they still hadn't rebooked me. It was really weird. But fortunately, I got a good team that was able to take care of everything. So very bad on the customer service side. I don't use American Airlines. I mostly use Delta. And in as much as that's the case, they probably have some issues in their business, frankly, because I fly a ton. But I think they don't have so many issues in their business that I can't make some good cash on this deal. And so for that reason, I'm willing to go in, but that's just for a quick turnaround. That's a quick turnaround to make me some money, not to hold. I don't have any faith in them. I think they're on their way out, apparently. Got it. Anyways, let me go ahead and enlarge this back for you. There we go. Systemic negligence alleged by airlines as victim families file suit in DC. What's that about? Oh, about the plane crash. Let's see. Accusers running red lights before horrific. What the heck? What the helly? What the helly? Okay, this is all that nonsense. So now I'm going to type in stock. I want to hear specifically about the stock. I was just looking at news in general. Now I want to hear about the stock. Technical issues led to hundreds of flight delays at Charlotte Airport. Okay, now let's see American Airlines stock. UBS maintains neutral rating on American Airlines, raises price target. Okay, that was 4 hours ago. Man, I better hurry up and buy this. Okay, let me just look at these headlines really quickly. Why American Airlines shares are sliding today. Okay, let's see. Why are they sliding? Shares of American Airlines fell 3.5% in the morning session. The investment firm, blah, 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 noted that the downgrade reflects a more balanced reward profile as American stock approaches the forms prior. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. What is the market telling us? American Airlines shares are very volatile, and volatility is good for me because I'm investing in the short term. So volatility, it means the price is doing this. The price is, hold on, baby, hold on, hold on. The price is doing that, right? And with the price doing that, that's good. You know, I buy it low, the price is moving, it went up high, I sell it. Hell, if it drops again, I might buy it again. So volatility is great. I love volatility. Not too much. Not like Bitcoin, like early Bitcoin, Ethereum levels of volatility. Not those early crypto levels of volatility. That's kind of crazy. That's gambling. That's outright gambling. But the point is that volatility is going to be good for me and what I'm trying to do with this particular security because I don't have faith in them. So anyways, it says American Airlines shares are very volatile, have had 22 moves greater than 5% in the last year. Wow, that's something. And it's down now, so this is the right time to buy. Indicates that the market considers this news meaningful, but not something that will fundamentally change its perception of the business. Previous blah, 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 blah. American Airlines is down 23% since the beginning of the year. Very good. Okay, great. Great, love it, love it. I'm gonna look at a chart because I just can't help but look at charts. That's just me. So I'm gonna pop up this chart. I'm gonna share this tab. So now we can get a little bit technical, if you don't mind. Actually, not too technical. This is gonna be easy, simple stuff. Stick with me here, stick with me. Here we go. So here's American Airlines, right? At 11 bucks. Interesting. So here's for the 1 year, it says it's up 3.4%. American Airlines Group, word? That article, oh, that was year to date they were talking about. Great. Yeah, so year to date, they're down 34%, but for the actual 12 months trailing, they are up 3.27%. So not really what I want to see. I'd love to see them a little bit lower, to be honest with you. I'm just curious, the 5 year, that's insane. Down 12% for the 5 year, down 7% for the 3 year, up for the 1 year, and down for the year to date. Very good. And the year to date is more reflective of the Trump administration, meaning not him causing it, but I mean, maybe, but during the time that he's been in office. And so whether he makes improvements or he's taken out of office, I think we'll see some significant change. Anyways, I think I already have them in my portfolio. I do. So let me see how much I have. And so I have not a ton of shares currently. I got about 50 shares. And me, I like to, move up a little bit. So I'll probably see if I can grab 100 shares. And hopefully this price will tank a little bit more. So I'm gonna put in a buy order. And what we'll do is we'll buy 100 shares. And we'll select it as a limit order, and we'll do it as good till cancel plus extended hours. Current price is 11.36, and I would love to catch this at 9.75. Yes, and in fact, why don't you go ahead and give me 200 shares then, Chief? So I'll buy 200 shares for a price of $9.75, good till cancel plus extended hours. And we have now placed that order. Very good. Excellent. And I have a lot of faith in that buy right there because it's the biggest airline in the United States. No one, especially not a Donald Trump personality, is going to let them fail. They're already low. I even placed the buy order for lower than it currently is. So especially with this thing moving 5% up and down, volatility, 22 different instances of moving that amount of space in the last year, they may drop down that much. And if they do, even if the company doesn't improve, I can count on just the volatility to give me a 5% return. And that'll be a good win. But frankly, because I'm buying so low, I think that I'll be better positioned to get a 10% plus return. And I'll absolutely take it. And I don't like their customer service. I don't like, the way the business is being run. So I wouldn't hold on for the long term.